interesting design. I feel like it's too early to comment on it without knowing what the other Aero characters do. It feels like they designed it very specifically, probably with the future characters in mind. So without seeing like what our future Aero characters do, it is a bit weird that Aero Rover can't inflict Aero Erosion, but at the same time, I think it could be a good direction where it's like the Rover, it's not just a debuff inflicting bot like Spectral Rover. Because if Aero Rover inflicted Aero Erosion, probably would play similarly to Spectral Rover. Feels like they wanted to diverge from what, like change it from how Spectral Rover was and then make it a different type of character. But the interaction is kind of weird. Like you convert other debuffs to Aero Erosion. But then you would have to play with the characters that don't inflict Aero Erosion or that inflict like different statuses. It's a bit weird. But we'll see what happens when, let's say, Cartadia or Chiacona releases, assuming they're Aero characters. I tried Aero Rover a bit, but currently it feels like they don't really have a place. Seems strictly worse than Spectral and Havoc Rover. Yeah, I'm guessing Cartadia is actually training. Like when Cartadia told us she wanted to grow stronger, the devs are probably actually still working on her and making her stronger. Take your time to Sidon. The buff inflate enemies' HP, and the best solution is buff older units. We are getting the older units buffs. Aero Rover doesn't feel very strong currently. Maybe when we get more sequences, I think the sequences can make a pretty big difference. And when we get characters that actually synergize with Aero Rover. Because there isn't really that much use currently for like his changing other debuffs into Aero Erosion. They can't even inflict Aero Erosion themselves, so playing Aero Rover as like a main DPS feels like you put him on the normal Aero set. And their healing also isn't very good. See, the Aero set also requires... We have the new Gust of Vulcan. Inflicting Aero Erosion increases Aero damage, and for the Resonator triggering this effect. I think they'll be able to go on the Gust of Vulcan. Cause Swirl, changing the things into Aero Erosion counts, but you currently don't have anyone to partner with. Aero Rover has the healing. A Forte and ulti, and then the S2 that we will unlock later. It also gives you... And this is... I didn't level up my Aero Rover skills. The S2 also gives you some extra healing. Currently, I think... But the current Forte, the Liberation has healing. 1100 plus 36% of attack. So if you have, say, 0.36 plus 1100, the healing is not very much. With the Forte, it's like 2000. 36% attack is your base attack. Your Aero Rover probably has 2000 attack, so you heal like 2000 HP on the ulti. Forte, perform healing on nearby resonators. Where's the... this is 330 plus 11% of attack. So you have some extra healing bonus. I think you have 8%, maybe a bit more than 2k. The Forte healing is also not very much. I think it only heals one instance. Only 330 plus 11. Though I didn't level up the Liberation, so it goes to a bit higher. Probably gets to, I think, max 3k plus, and then you get some Forte healing. Attack percent increase. Oh, then this thing increases healing too from Liberation. Casting intro skill increases attack. Aero Rover doesn't buff the your other characters though, apart from healing. It just transfers all your negative statuses into Aero Erosion. And then the rest is DPS. All of their sequences also don't buff any other characters. So it feels like as a healer, Aero Rover is just worse than Verena. As a DPS, Aero Rover is worse than Spectral Rover for sure. Probably Havoc Rover as well. I think one of their sequences at S2 affects the healing.